Hey everybody, let's get cooking with Dr. David Stevens.
Cooking with Dr. David Stevens. Oh. Cooking with Dr. David Stevens. Oh. Cooking with Dr. David Stevens. Oh yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm round of applause for the one and only Dr. David Stevens.
Everybody, welcome to Cooking with Dr. David Stevens. So we got a real treat tonight. We got banana bread bake. First things first, when you get in the kitchen, what do? You think safety. Obviously, you're going to be thinking what? You're going to be thinking dehydration. So the first thing you want to do is obviously get something to drink. My choice, first choice anyway, would be beer. I like beer. It's good. It tastes good. It's something that you can cook with, and it's good for you. It's got good ingredients. I choose hams. It's just really good. So what do you do next? The next thing you want to do is protect yourself from splashes, burns. You get your safety attire on, you get your hair covered, which I have a hat on, but I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to grab my apron and my cap, and we're going to get started. Okay, so we are almost ready to cook. This happened to have pockets. You could put a beer or beverage in that pocket if you choose. I choose not to just because I move a lot in the kitchen. I don't want to spill. So what we're going to do is we're going to start out with the butter. First thing you do is melt your butter. I like to melt mine to pure liquid. Some people like to soften it. So wait for that to melt. I'm going to have a drink. Hydration. You know, another thing I like to do while I'm waiting for things to cook, melt, or mix, I like to fidget. In fact, you know what? I don't need the salt for a little while, so I think I'll just set it there and let it spin. So, what are we going to do first? Melt our butter, mix it in with the sugar. You want to mix the sugar and butter together, form a cream. Using a cup and a half of sugar, or no, I'm sorry, a cup of sugar. My apologies. We're using a cup of sugar. Mix it in good with the butter. I like to use a fork and just kind of whisk it together. So that looks pretty good. Next thing we want to do is mash up our bananas. So I'm using 4 bananas. The recipe only really calls for 3, but these are pretty small. So you want your bananas to be very, very ripe. I mean, I'm talking like fall out of the skin ripe. These are still a little bit stiff, not too bad, but basically you want it into a pulp. You want it mixed real well together. Just nice and thick. Next thing we're doing, we're adding eggs. 2 eggs for this recipe. Just kind of whip them up like you're making scrambled eggs. By the way, great idea for you guys who like beer. Hams and eggs, okay? Favorite of ham and eggs, whatever. Good breakfast. Hams and eggs, I'm telling you, there's nothing better. Oh my God. I think I can see why I add these eggs into our butter and sugar mix. We'll whip them up good. I think our bananas are pretty good. We'll mix them right into the other mixture with the butter, the eggs, and the salt. Just fold them into that mixture too. Now we'll mix all this together. Okay, so this looks like it's mixed pretty good. Now the next thing is the dries. So what we're gonna do is we got a cup and a half of flour. We're going to want to add a teaspoon of baking soda. Excuse my fidget spinner. We're going to add a half a teaspoon of salt. Just about out of salt, so we just made it, thank God. I got to add a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract into our wet mixture. Okay, now, oh man, It gets hot in the kitchen. You gotta have that hydration. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna fold the dry in with the wet. So you're just gonna fold it in lightly. Just kind of fold, I mean literally fold it in. Fold it in. Now this will stiffen up pretty good once everything's folded together. You don't want to overmix. Yep, looking pretty good. Got everything whipped together. Now what should I do next? How about chocolate chips? I just kind of like that extra sustenance, if you will. I like that chocolate chip, and I like the nut in my bread. So for this video, we kind of held a little bit of a poll right before shoot, and the deciding factor was we weren't going to put nuts in the bread. But guess what? We are putting nuts in the bread. Sorry. Aww. Just kidding. We're not going to put nuts in the bread. We're going to keep this one pretty simple. Chocolate chips. I will say that these chocolate chips are Ghirardelli milk chocolate chips. It's the only chip to use. Okay. You can do semi-sweet, garbage. You can do dark, stupid. These are the best chocolate chips that you will find in banana bread. I've made a lot of banana muffins in my day. I've made a lot of banana bread in my day. These Ghirardelli milk chocolate chips, they're the best. And you will see why when you try this. Now we're going to want to put it into our loaf pan. So I like to use metal, just a standard loaf pan. We're just going to fold everything into the loaf pan from our mix. So we'll fill that up. Just dump everything out. This thing's looking real good. What I like to do, a little extra flavor, brown sugar. All you do is you got your loaf ready to go. You're just going to sprinkle brown sugar over the top. It gives it that extra flavor, a nice crust on top, and believe me, you'll appreciate the taste when you bite into a piece of this bread. It's phenomenal. We got our oven preheated, 350, ready to go. So we're just going to put that in the center rack, bake it for about 50 to 60 minutes. We'll kind of keep an eye on it. We'll check it at 50 and see where we're at. Oh yeah, I like that glaze. It's looking pretty good. Set her down. Check her toothpick. Oh, look at that. Oh my goodness. Nothing on the toothpick, so we know we're good. Okay, so set that over here. The next thing we're going to do is, while we're waiting for that bread to cool in the pan, I like to make a little drink. This one's called Hams and Eggs, okay? As I said earlier, Hams, good beer. One of my favorites, actually. I'm going to grab a couple eggs out of the fridge. Now, it's important when you're making a hams and eggs, you want to use organic eggs. So, a little crack, carefully, and you're going to just right on down into the old cup. There's one, and now eggs is plural, so you're going to have 2 eggs, your hams and eggs. And 2, carefully, you don't want to, you want to make sure to get all that goodness right into the cup. Okay, so now we want to be sanitary, so we want to wash our hands. Cleanliness is important in a good hams and eggs. Dry the hands off. And now, most important part is the hams. So, little hams, mix up the eggs good. Nice frothy drink. Let that froth settle, mix with the egg yolks. Here we go. Oh, that's delicious. Alright guys, we're back. We're going to pop the bread out of the pan, put it on the cooling rack. So, what you want to do when you're doing this is, you want to be very careful. It's quite warm, but it'll just fall right out. Just set it on the rack, let it sit like that for about 10 minutes, and you're going to have yourself a very delicious treat. So, I just want to thank everybody for cooking with Dr. David Stevens today, and I hope that you please leave some feedback on our Facebook page. Dr. David Stevens is our Facebook page. Be sure to send ideas, recommendations, and we want to know what you want to see next. We'll do anything, pretty much anything. I just drank 2 raw eggs and had a ham, so almost anything, but we look forward to hearing from you, and thanks for joining us and cooking with us in the kitchen with Dr. David Stevens. Thanks guys.
Cooking with Dr. David.